One quiet night, a mom's loud cries broke the quiet. Little Jennifer Shue, just 8, disappeared from her room. Her open window was scary. As morning came, hope faded, until they found her in a field. Jennifer lay there, pale and barely breathing, her throat cut. What lousy thing took her? This is the scary story of how Jennifer fought to stay alive. Jennifer Shue was a vibrant 8-year-old girl with a contagious smile and an insatiable curiosity. She lived with her devoted single mother, Elaine, who worked tirelessly to provide her daughter a happy and secure life. Jennifer thrived in school, loved learning, and cherished bedtime stories with her mom. Her fear of the dark often brought her to sleep beside Elaine, where she found comfort in her mother's presence. Jennifer's innocence and zest for life made her a beloved figure in her community, known for her kindness. Dennis Earl Bradford was an unassuming man who hid a dark and malevolent nature beneath a facade of normalcy. Known for his transient jobs and quiet demeanor, he lived a seemingly ordinary life in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Yet beneath this facade lurked a predator who had committed heinous acts before. Arrested multiple times for violent crimes, including an assault in 1996, he was released early, only to re-offend. Bradford's outward appearance masked a deeply disturbed individual capable of unspeakable violence, driven by impulses that defied comprehension. On the night of August 9, 1990, Jennifer Shue, a cheerful 8-year-old girl, nestled into bed in her small apartment in Dickinson, Texas. She had just finished her evening routine of bedtime stories with her mother, Elaine, who worked multiple jobs to provide for them both. Jennifer's fear of the dark often prompted her to sleep in the same room as Elaine, finding solace in her mother's presence. That night, however, Jennifer bravely decided to sleep alone in her own room, which would change their lives forever. Exhausted from a long day of work, Elaine drifted off to sleep alongside Jennifer. It wasn't until the early morning hours, around 2:30 a.m., that she awoke to unease. Jennifer was tossing and turning, her restless movements disturbing Elaine's sleep. Despite this, Jennifer's response to her mother's suggestion to return to her own room was unexpectedly brave. "Just because I love you, Mom, I'm going to sleep in my own room tonight," she declared. Reluctantly, Elaine acquiesced, unaware of the impending danger. Little did she know that this simple act of independence would lead to a nightmare beyond imagination. Morning broke with the routine bustle of the apartment complex, but Elaine's usual routine of waking Jennifer was met with a chilling realization. Her daughter was missing. Panic surged through Elaine as she frantically searched every corner of their modest home, hoping against hope that Jennifer was simply hiding. The open window in Jennifer's room faced the parking lot, a silent witness to the dreadful possibility that someone had entered their sanctuary during the night. With trembling hands, Elaine dialed 911, her voice cracking as she recounted the harrowing details to the dispatcher. Within minutes, law enforcement descended upon the scene, their presence marking the beginning of a frantic search for the missing 8-year-old girl. The entire community rallied behind Elaine, combing through the neighborhood, scouring nearby fields, and questioning anyone who might have seen or heard something. Fear and anguish gripped everyone as the hours stretched on with no sign of Jennifer. Every passing moment amplified the terror that gripped Elaine's heart. Fear for her daughter's safety, fear of the unknown, fear of a reality where Jennifer might never come home. Despite their efforts, a group of children playing in a field later that day inadvertently made the grim discovery. Shock and horror washed over them as they stumbled upon the pale, unconscious form of Jennifer lying in the middle of the field, miles away from her home. Her throat had been savagely cut, and she was covered in ant bites and scratches, but against all odds, she was still clinging to life. The children's horrified cries alerted nearby adults, and soon the field was swarming with police and paramedics. Jennifer was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Doctors worked frantically to stabilize her, noting the severity of her injuries and the massive blood loss. Her survival was uncertain, but their immediate focus was to stop the bleeding and repair the damage, giving this brave little girl a fighting chance. The police arrived swiftly. Their urgency was matched only by the grim determination etched on their faces. Despite being unable to speak due to her severe throat injury, Jennifer bravely communicated her story by writing notes. She was scared of men, making it hard to interact with male doctors and the police. Amazingly, her voice slowly came back, surprising everyone. She went home, returned to school, and, with her mom's support, faced her fears. Jennifer's strength and determination helped her rebuild her life. She eventually became a children's librarian and proved that even after such a terrible event, she could find hope and purpose. Amid this turmoil, the Dickinson Police Department mobilized a dedicated team to unravel the mystery surrounding Jennifer's disappearance and brutal assault. The search for answers had begun, but the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, as Jennifer's assailant remained at large, casting a long shadow over the tight-knit community and shattering the illusion of safety that once enveloped Elaine and her beloved daughter. For 19 years, detectives worked tirelessly to find Jennifer's attacker. They created forensic sketches and used DNA analysis to identify him. Each lead was pursued relentlessly, with Jennifer's detailed descriptions helping immensely. Despite many challenges, the investigators never gave up, driven by the hope of bringing Jennifer justice. The breakthrough moment in Jennifer Schuett's case came nearly 2 decades after the horrific night of her abduction and assault. For years, detectives had combed through evidence, pursued countless leads, and tirelessly sought the man responsible. The turning point arrived when advancements in DNA technology allowed forensic analysts to re-examine the evidence collected from Jennifer's clothing. In a stroke of luck and scientific progress, a match was found in the National DNA Database. Dennis Earl Bradford, a name Jennifer had bravely written down as a child, was identified as her attacker. Bradford's DNA was logged in the database following a previous assault charge. The realization that Jennifer's detailed memories and the forensic sketch she helped create were astoundingly accurate brought a wave of mixed emotions. The news was a surreal blend of relief, validation, and profound emotional release for Jennifer. She had lived with the trauma and the uncertainty for 19 long years, always wondering if her attacker would ever be caught. The confirmation of Bradford's identity affirmed her relentless pursuit of justice. It validated her memories and her unwavering belief that her attacker would eventually be found. Upon hearing the news, Jennifer felt an overwhelming sense of closure, but also a resurgence of the trauma she had endured. She was relieved that the man who had caused her so much pain was finally identified and could no longer hurt anyone else. At the same time, the breakthrough reopened old wounds, as the reality of her childhood nightmare came rushing back. Yet, in that moment, Jennifer's strength and resilience shone through. She knew that her fight for justice was not in vain, and that her bravery had played a crucial role in bringing her attacker to light. The arrest of Dennis Earl Bradford marked a critical juncture in Jennifer Schuett's quest for justice. After nearly 2 decades, the wheels of the legal system began to turn towards a trial that would hold Bradford accountable for his heinous crimes. I think you would be extremely proud, I really do. Crying she's alive? Yes, she's alive. She's alive? And let me tell you something right now. She's with us. The period leading up to the trial was intense, filled with meticulous preparations by both the prosecution and Jennifer herself, who was resolute in her determination to confront her attacker in court. The prosecution team, along with the detectives who had worked tirelessly on Jennifer's case, delved deep into the amassed evidence. They revisited every detail, from the forensic sketches and DNA evidence to Jennifer's harrowing written testimony. Teehee goal was to build an airtight case that would leave no room for doubt about Bradford's guilt. Expert witnesses were lined up, forensic scientists were consulted, and the traumatic events of that night were painstakingly reconstructed to ensure the jury would understand the full extent of Bradford's crimes. For Jennifer, the approach to the trial was both daunting and empowering. She spent countless hours preparing her victim impact statement, a powerful and personal account of the ordeal she planned to deliver in court. This statement was not only a means to articulate the suffering she endured, but also a declaration of her strength and resilience. Jennifer wanted to make sure that Bradford, and everyone present, would understand the profound impact of his actions and the strength it took for her to survive and reclaim her life. Jennifer's resolve to face Bradford in court stemmed from a deep need for closure and justice. She had lived in fear for years, haunted by the possibility of re-encountering her attacker. Confronting Bradford was a way to regain her power and show him that he had not broken her spirit. Her bravery in preparing to face him was a testament to her unyielding courage. Despite her determination, Jennifer faced significant emotional challenges. The prospect of seeing Bradford again was terrifying, but she drew strength from the support of her family, friends, and the law enforcement officers who had never given up on her case. She was driven by the desire to ensure that no other child would suffer as she had, and to make Bradford answer for his crimes in a court of law. As the trial date approached, Jennifer's anticipation grew. She selected August 10th, the 20th anniversary of her attack, as the trial date, symbolizing her long journey from victim to survivor. However, the trial was not to be. In May 2010, Dennis Bradford was found dead in his jail cell, having taken his own life. This abrupt end to the legal proceedings was a bitter pill for Jennifer, who felt deprived of her chance to confront him and deliver her statement in court. Nonetheless, Jennifer's journey did not end there. She continued to advocate for survivors of similar crimes, sharing her story to inspire others. Her determination to seek justice and her willingness to confront her attacker, despite the trial's unexpected conclusion, underscored her incredible resilience and courage. Jennifer Schuett emerged not only as a survivor, but as a powerful voice for justice and healing. Closure and new beginnings. Jennifer Schuett's quest for justice ended unexpectedly when Dennis Bradford committed suicide in jail, denying her the chance to confront him in court. Seeking closure, Jennifer visited Bradford's grave, reading aloud her victim impact statement, which brought her a sense of peace. Despite the absence of a formal trial, this act allowed Jennifer to reflect on her journey from victim to victor. Her story is a powerful testament to resilience, offering hope and strength to others who have faced similar traumas. Jennifer Schuett's journey from victim to survivor shows the incredible power of resilience and hope. Her story is a beacon of strength for all. If you found this story inspiring, please like, subscribe, and share for more uplifting content.